Welcome back to IGN's post show for Summer Game Fest Kickoff Live. We've still got lots more to talk about, so let's do just that. Okay, so Day of the Devs. What was everyone's favorite game from that event? Miranda, let's start with you.
Toem! So Toem is, I call it Toem because it's easier to go high pitch with that. Sorry. Anyway. It's a hand-drawn adventure game about taking photos, and it's just so gorgeous. It's black and white. The perspective is really unique, and the whole idea is that you're supposed to solve puzzles and help people and just have a good time. You got some good beats. Your camera can honk. It can zoom. See, look at this. You can see little cats, and this is just the kind of game. Perspective or chill games. Not all of them are, but I think this one really spoke to me. It's just, coming off of Pokemon Snap, I really just want to go hang out. Yeah, exactly. I want to go hang out. I'm going to take some photos, and talk to some people, and explore this world. Look at that bear. I love bears. This is great.
Oh, bear man. Do we have any idea when this is coming out and for what platforms?
I believe this is later this year, and I don't remember the platforms, but I know PC is one of them, because most games come out on PC.
Does every game, except for exclusives, come to PC? Yeah. Ryan, what was your favorite game of the event?
Well, first of all, Toem totally sounds like a fictional app name from the HBO show Silicon Valley. Just want to point that out for no apparent reason. But for me, it's Last Stop, which is a game I've had the privilege of playing. In fact, I have a preview of it on IGN or on IGN's YouTube now. And it is, it's a Telltale style adventure game. It's obviously Telltale is dead and now not dead, but not really, they haven't made anything lately. But this is not made by Telltale, but it is in that sort of style. You play this, you got this group of teenagers, and there's these sort of three, and that's one of the three stories. There's three intertwining stories, which I really enjoyed. You can play them in any order, but in sort of blocks. So you can't like just jam through one person's story. You can do one, the other, then the other, and then it'll sort of refresh, and then you can go in any order again. And there's like a mystery to it. There's some sort of like the opening scene. You'll see it, but I won't spoil it. Just say there is a strange supernatural kind of element to it. So it's kind of like Telltale meets X-Files, and that's very much up my alley. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where the story goes in it.
That sounds very cool. Real quick before we get to Destin, Ryan, we did see Tunic again.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up as well, because that game is extraordinarily near and dear to my heart. We talked about it on the pre-show, and now I can tell you that. So number one, everybody, in case they didn't see the show or missed that part, there is a demo coming to Xbox on Tuesday, June 15th. So a brand new demo, I should clarify, because we talked in the pre-show about how there's been kind of the same dusty demo making the rounds at trade show after trade show for literal years. New demo. It's got some overworld and a dungeon. I played that demo. I've been playing it, and I have created a hands-on preview that you can either read or watch on IGN. We're going to debut that on the IGN Expo tomorrow in the early afternoon Pacific time. And if you happen to miss that, of course, it'll go on IGN and YouTube. But yeah, I have previewed it, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that exclusive preview with everybody tomorrow ahead of your chance to get to play the demo yourself, which I highly, highly, highly encourage on Tuesday. And
it sounds like, Ryan, is it true that there are going to be other games available with demos?
The one that, a bunch of them, and the one that jumped out for me kind of on the initial list that I got in my inbox is a game we have actually had a playable demo for before, but it's another one that's just near and dear. It just strikes all the right chords for me. It's a game called Generation Echo. It is a voxel-based adventure game where you're I like retro-themed adventure games. That's just my thing. But the demo was really cool for that. Was that sometime late last year, I think. And so I'm looking forward to playing a new demo and seeing how that one's coming along.
I actually have the website up here, Ryan, for the June 15th to June 21st event. 40 demos, Sable, Lake, Riftbreaker, Echo Generation, and Tunic were mentioned. Nice. Tunic being the one that I want to see the most. But talking about the event earlier, I actually really liked how they implemented the musical number in Sable together, because now I've been able to see more of Sable. Now I know I'm going to be able to check it out on Xbox. I think it's also a really cool way to highlight these developers. It's a smart idea.
Mm-hmm. Destin, while I have you, what was your favorite game from Day of the Devs?
So I hope Marian, our producer in the back end, is ready, because initially I was going to talk about Moonglow Bay. It's sort of this pixel art game. It was first revealed at the ID at Xbox event. It's about a fishing town. It was presented by 2 developers initially during that event. But then watching this, I was really, really surprised by a few titles. So the first one I want to talk about is Phantom Abyss. It was sort of this dungeon crawler where you go in, you collect as much loot as you can, and it uses this really cool whip mechanic, for lack of a better term, and the footage we're seeing right now is Moonglow Bay, I believe. But
you got to make it difficult, Destin, don't you? You got to make it difficult on the producer.
It's live to tape. Sorry. Phantom Abyss is really neat because you're using this whip mechanic, and you use it to traverse away from the demon that's going to chase you basically out of the dungeon. And I was very surprised by that. I could see that being a quick game where you just go in, you loot a dungeon, and then you go do the next one with your friends. But the one that really blew me away because of the technology that they're utilizing on the back end was Vocabulantis. This is a game that is entirely designed using stop motion capture. And that's why I love these Day of the Devs and like indie game showcases, because every once in a while you see somebody doing something innovative, interesting, and cool. Who would have ever thought that we could be designing games that actually utilize stop motion capture to tell a story? This looks like a movie. There was a dog movie recently that also was all stop motion, and it's just cool. Yeah, it's cool to see this art form on display in a video game, and I'm really, really curious about how they managed to do the lighting system in here and what the story is going to be as we traverse through this world. The creator is clearly very passionate about this, and getting to see behind the scenes of how it's created was really, really neat. So this one really stood out to me, and I just love that it was showcased because it does look like they're doing something really special here.
Ryan, just wait until Destin finds out about Clay Fighter.
I loved Clay Fighter back in the day.
I was really happy to see Axiom Verge 2 represented. Bummed that we still don't have a release date for that one. Still waiting on that. But that is all the time we have for right now. Thank you to Destin, Miranda, and Ryan for joining me to discuss all the biggest news from Summer Games Fest Kickoff Live.